joining me again. We always like to start off with a little humor just to loosen everybody up, right? August is nature's way of saying you are looking too comfortable. Are you sure this whole back to school thing isn't a scam? We don't all follow you on Twitter, Kayla, so please just tell the class what you did during the summer. So much for separation anxiety. Yippee. Free at last. Oh, sorry kids, I forgot. So they spent the entire summer texting. It takes a while to wean them off. WB2 school students. Pissed. How do you turn this thing on? My grandkids are guiltier of that, actually. Back to school list, which are really complicated nowadays. We did back to school for all of our grandkids, and they have special pencils and folders and all kinds of stuff. Instead of powering it up, you just turn the cover to get started, and instead of clicking on next page, all you do is turn it. Pretty cool, huh? But I don't want to go back to school. Nobody likes me. They tease me and pull my hair and beat me up. I hate it. No one said teaching would be easy, dear. Some former teachers feel that way, maybe. Back to school supplies. Mom, if this is putting a strain on our finances, I could take a year off. We got a few things too. This is actually familiar. You looking to score a purple pocket folder with prong fasteners? I know a guy who knows a guy. True story. I replace forgotten memories with stuff I make up. Submitted by a resident. Do I look fat? Do I look stupid? Stalemate. Are we there yet? Judy, do you see that elderly couple down at the other end of the counter? Yeah, what about them? I was just thinking, that's probably what we'll look like in about 10 years or so. You do realize that's a mirror at the end of the counter, I told you this is not a good age to throw a surprise birthday party. I'll let that one soak in for a minute. Another romantic evening comes and goes. The excitement is overwhelming. Submitted by a resident. Thank you very much. Ibuprofen flavored Lay's. Why not? They have every other flavor, right? The official sports drink when I was a kid and locked outside, right? I don't think. Now we have this. Bottled water, right, $1.50, and he's filling it up with the garden hose, so. Mrs. Arms.
Okay, thanks. Hello? I only got one email when I asked for email questions about the green handout that we sent out to everybody about the update with recycling. I don't know whether that's good or bad. Maybe there were no questions. But maybe there was only one, or maybe some of you are shy, I don't know. Anyway, the one question was, I memorized it so I didn't have to look it up. Should we organize our recycles in a plastic bag when we put them into the recycle container? Does anybody know the answer to that question? Raise your hand. Okay. Catherine?
No.
Excellent. No. What? I talked with the recycle people that actually pick it up. You know, Danny and all the rest of them that come around every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They say if it's in a plastic bag, that's trash. So if you put your plastic recycled into a plastic bag and put it in the recycle, then it goes to trash. Is that what you really want? Maybe. Okay, so I have two questions. Oh, for one thing, there are some blue containers on the side. I would like for you to pass that down the road. Look inside. What you're looking at is what your recycle bag should look like. Labels are clean and dry. And just the only things that will actually go in there. Notice no plastic bags. Okay. So I have a couple of questions here. First of all, will these recycle? Who knows the answer? Okay, Julie. How do, okay, thank you. So the other question is, what do I do to recycle them? Or that just put them in the bag now? Or do I do something to them? Arlene?
Break them apart.
Flatten them out, right? Thank you, Arlene. Pass that. Diane. That was for Arlene. So what about these? Do they recycle? Who knows? Okay. This lady right there in the pink. What do you do to them? Oh. What do you do to them? Do I just throw them in just like they are? Flatten them. This lady right here said flatten them. Yes. Good job, guys. Thank you so much. Now you're looking at what you should see in your recycle. Please do not take these with you. My volunteers in my committee have brought those to show you, what it should look like. One of them also is a brown paper bag. The recycle people understand that if it's in a brown paper bag, it is a recycle, okay? So if you don't even have a blue container, that works just fine, okay? All right? Charlie?
Flatten it,
Just
yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Just doesn't take much. One-handed. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms.
Appreciate it, and any other questions, please let me know. KRs@gmail.com.
All right, give me the microphone back. Okay. Thank you very much. Don't put ties in those blue tubs either as they're being passed around. I know you're used to that, so. All right, questions and answers. It was a light month, so appreciate that. Hackings are very much in the news. Individuals, organizations, government agencies, etc., are hacked, is Westminster cyber secure? Yes, I'd like to think so. Our campus takes a lot of precautions to be cyber secure. We have strong systems in place to protect our network and infrastructure, including firewalls, encryption, and regular security updates. However, cybersecurity is a shared responsibility. While we ensure the safety of our systems, we do not monitor personal devices or data. That means it's important for everyone to practice good cyber hygiene, like using strong passwords, being cautious with emails and links, and keeping personal devices updated. We've talked about this in my chats before. The following slides speak to Westminster's cybersecurity and our efforts. So we have multi-factor authentication. Everybody know what that is? So you have a password, right? And then you typically have another device that you receive a notification on with a code, and you put the code in. So we do use that across all of Westminster's business computers. We have a network firewall. So think of this as a security gate between your internal network and the internet. It blocks unauthorized access and helps prevent cyber threats from getting in. We have hosted storage protection, so we have networks on site that our data is stored in safely, and added safeguards to protect it from breaches and accidental loss. Internet security, content filtering. This service helps block harmful websites and online content, reduce the risk of malware, and keeping our team focused and safe while browsing. Server protection, so all of our servers are equipped with baseline security to prevent unauthorized access and defend against system vulnerabilities. We also get regular updates, at least monthly and more often as needed. We have endpoint detection and response, so we monitor all the devices and all the ports that are used, so computers, laptops, plug-in ports that are accessing our data network are constantly being monitored for suspicious activity. If anything unusual happens, we're alerted immediately by Integris, our third-party IT provider, and then we respond. We have DNS filtering and web security. These tools help block malicious websites and phishing emails attempts before they even load, which happens a lot all day long. Also protects us from online scams. Then we have security awareness training, which I hate, but it's helpful. We do at least 2 lessons of online security training for every associate that has computer access. We're provided a training platform to help our team recognize and avoid common cyber threats, and then when we get provided updates on new cyber threats, then we pass that education out to our associates as well. So lots of cyber security measures are being taken, but nothing's foolproof, right? We're only as good as our weakest link, so be careful. Make sure you keep your devices up to date. That's the most important thing. Question, I'm curious about the future of the fountain in the Preston Courtyard. Will it be relocated? No, it's going to stay exactly where it is, how it is, not going to be touched during this phase of construction. And this is the completion phase, so it will stay, okay? Will the Harris Bell Hall elevator be heated and cooled when phase 4 is complete? Yes, it will be surrounded by conditioned space. Part of the problem is that right now it's open to the outside, right? And so typically elevators have exhaust fans, so they're pulling fresh air into them, but they don't have conditioners in the chase, right, for the elevator. So right now it's pulling air into it, which is coming from the outside, which is one of the problems with that elevator. So as we build a corridor to wrap around the Harris Bell Hall elevator, then it will be heated and cooled based on the corridor. So it'll receive its air through that chase, and it'll be conditioned similarly to the corridor temperature. Does that make sense? Okay. Question, there is much confusion over exactly where the pickleball court will be located. Would you please clarify? Who wants it outside of their apartment the most? That's where we'll go. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'll show you on this slide. So that large area right there is where the pickleball courts will be located. So right there, right outside of this room, on the roof of this area. And so it'll be adjacent to this space. The club room will come off of Harrisville Hall, go that way, and then the pickleball courts, the sports courts, will sit beyond that.
Where's the roof on the over marketing on your slide? Is it on the slide?
It's not really.
Repeat the question.
Where is the marketing offices on this slide? They're actually, they're down here. Okay? So this is Harrisville Hall. This is the new, this is the top of the conservatory, right? Which comes 24 feet off of this wall. This is the back of the elevator. Then we get this is Harrisville Hall, not being touched, except for these, there's storage closets back there now. Those go away. They're built here instead, which will be between Harrisville Hall's wall and the ramp. Okay? And then Harrisville Hall gets this new receiving area, and then there's a connection between A and B wing that doesn't exist today on first, second, and third floor. And then this new ramp takes you up to this club room, which is what this area is. The billiards and table tennis is right here. And then the courts start right there. Does that make sense?
Will there be basketball?
Looks great in my head.
Will there be basketball?
Yes. Basketball hoop, it'll be portable, but yes. So this is what the roof looks like today. And if you may remember that at one point we had a metal bridge, kind of walkway between the Windsor building and this room. And that was removed because we moved the exterior stairwell entrance inside this room, and that was no longer necessary as a fire exit in preparation for this job. You could have cooked hamburgers on that metal bridge in the summertime. A lot of them. So that, we're taking down the brick on these areas because those walls will be cut into. This wall, this window wall, there'll be a construction wall that's built about 1 foot, 2 feet into the room while they do the connection work for all of those spaces. So they'll be working normal business hours. They'll still be able to have activities up here in the evening and the days that I have chats and afternoon activities, we'll tell them to stop. But that window wall goes away. So this is so imagine, so you've got this. So I'm standing, you see the top left-hand picture? I'm standing at that stairwell, the fire stairs, at the top of it, taking a picture of the roof where this is going to be located. And so I'm looking through the pickleball courts into the clubhouse. And so this direction is the same kind of orientation, only it's on the other side of the courts. So you can see the pickleball courts, multi-sports courts will have some different lines and things that you can do different types of games. And then we'll have some kind of sound mitigation. That screen that's on the back side, that is, if you didn't have that there for sound mitigation, you would be able to see through that screen to the courtyard below. And then that room, the clubhouse, backs up to this balcony. So this balcony may become more used when that occurs, and we're going to put some shade structure over this balcony to make it more conducive to use in the summertime. And this is what the club room looks like. So if I'm looking into the club room from the pickleball courts, I've just walked into the door and I'm looking at the club room, which is facing, again, this Harris Bell Hall. So it backs up to Harris Bell Hall. Any questions on that before I move forward? There seems to be a lot of confusion about that. So it's really not going to be on top of your head, and we will control the hours, and that's the location. There will be 4 apartments that still live underneath this roof. And so one of the reasons that those folks have moved and they're in temporary apartments is because we're going to have to take the roof off to reinforce it, to do sound mitigation, and then to put the roof back. And so we didn't think that anybody wanted to be rained on during that process. And all of those folks will be doing new selections for their apartments using the standards that we provide, and then we will refurbish those apartments and make them brand new. The main difference being that the columns in each apartment is going to be about 4 inches wider than they were before to help support the new roof. Okay. Ruth, can you? Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Can you tell?
James Lavender.
Just a quick question. What part of that will be over the library? I'm confused is it the club room?
None of it.
Okay.
None of it. So the library will be beneath the storage rooms and the golf simulator, the sports simulator, and the ramp. So the library sits 1 floor beneath us right now. And so that library will be built across the hall from the current library. And then the current library will be reallocated as a music room. You're gonna have some soft seating, it'll have some albums. In fact, I bought about 100 albums myself to put in it. So that's what it's gonna be. But it's gonna be about twice the size of our current library and be directly across the hall from so that while they're doing all of this demo on the exterior in preparation for that construction. Anybody else, questions?
How will those columns be reinforced? Will there be new columns, or will the original be updated somehow?
They're in the decision process right now to make a decision on that. There are a couple different options. One is to add concrete width to the current columns that are there. It's unlikely that they'll go away completely. We'll probably keep those columns. There's also a new material that they have that wraps columns. I forget what it's called, but it's a material that wraps softly and then it hardens over time. And so you could actually wrap the columns, and it's less wide than the concrete solution would be. But they're working through that right now to determine which solution is going to be best.
The question I have is.
Hold it a little closer to you.
Oh,
Closer to your mouth.
okay,
There you go.
all right. Below us here is a garage, correct?
Yes.
And
Well, under the library. Under this is the library and all that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, and there's another street that comes,
Closer.
okay, the driveway that comes parallel here,
Mm-hmm.
and there's an opening. That area floods when there's rain.
Right. We call it Lake Westminster.
Yes, when are we gonna correct it?
It's going to be corrected in this project. It's all of that area is going to be regraded, and we have to move a grease trap receptacle also into that area. So it gets graded. We call it phase 2 of this completion phase project, but it'll be about 6 months from now
Okay.
when it'll be completed. it'll be worked on over the next few months. Okay, are we good? Any other questions on the pickleball courts or clubhouse? One more question.
Just curious, you said that the clubhouse will be directly off the pickleball court,
Yes.
so I'm guessing there's not gonna be, dress code?
It is not a dining room, so there will be no dress code for that space. But I would watch what I wear. Yeah. Okay. Question, where can we go to view the construction cameras? Has anybody been on the resident portal to see the expansion cameras? Okay, a couple people, few. It is available, there are now 2 cameras there. I hope to better locate the second camera. It's not it's not showing what I wanted to show, which is the work on the east side of the Preston and Harrisbell Hall. So I hope to reposition that a little bit better. But they are active. So you go to the portal and you go to the expansion camera views, and it's right there. Okay, there's 2 cameras to click on. You can change, and each camera has different angles. Here's one. You can also go to the Westminster website, right? If you don't have the portal on your phone or whatever your device, and you go to the Westminster website on your computer, then go to Resident Portal. It's up at the right-hand side top, and then you can click on the expansion camera views and see it from there. Here's an example of one, and here's another. And if any of you are wondering about that little pond in the middle there, that was a surprise, yes. And we have some pipes around that pond that surprised us as well. We didn't expect those pipes to be there, but they are. And so we're working through that. This is the view I don't like. I want this to back out a lot so you can see what's going on there. All right. Updates from plant operations. So apartment filter changes scheduled for Monday. We'll do questions at the end, if that's okay, apartment filter changes scheduled for Monday, 8/18 through 8/22. And then Carlisle Building 3rd floor apartment painting select units tomorrow, 8/20. Preston Sea Wing project adjustment 2nd floor. So this is the Preston HVAC plumbing replacement project. We almost finished with the 2nd floor. We'll be starting on the 1st floor, which will be the final floor that we have to do this work on, and that will start next Monday. Preston hallway lighting revamp, still in progress, but almost finished. Rowan dining room repairs are underway still. We're still eating on plastic plates because we've had to remove the dishwasher to repair the walls and to make safe that area. We thought that it was going to be a 3 or 4 day job, and it grew into much more. We had some growth in the area, so we cut out sheetrock, we did testing, we set it up as a worst case scenario kind of situation, but nobody's in any danger. We built construction walls around the area and treated it, and now we're waiting for a clear test. Once the test is clear, then we'll put everything back. It'll take us a couple weeks to build everything back again. Let's see. Lots of completed stuff. So the portable chiller we talked about last time I was here, and we reached 100 degrees. So I'm glad that that chiller's in place. That was the right decision. Preston 3rd floor A-wing ceiling grid tile removal, that's been completed. The fire alarm, quarterly sprinkler, and annual backflow tests were completed. You might have seen the fire marshal walking around last week, giving us an all clear. Preston loading dock wall repairs were completed. That project saved us about $1.3 million. Preston West scaffolding was completed, that work. Carlisle 5th floor front doors select apartment painting was completed. Carlisle building 4th floor apartment painting, some damaged doors basically was completed. Windsor and Preston carpet repairs were completed. We did not repair the carpet around the bistro because that's going to be replaced. Crane will be on site. Oh, that already happened. That was completed. So, just this flyer should be in the elevators, just to remind everybody that we are doing orders for takeout and delivery from room 227 in the Preston building. How many people are using that successfully? Oh, plenty. Okay. You don't need to be told anything. The rumor mill works great. Bistro hours and Rowan hours are posted there as well. Sorry about that. Alzheimer's fundraising, we're at $54,000, almost $55,000, so we're almost all the way to our goal. Still have a bit to go. We have an event, which is our silent auction that we do every year, and this year it's going to have a live auction as well. Looking forward to that. So please submit your items if you want to donate something by September the 5th to the marketing office to be considered for this year's event. If you have any questions, reach out to Barbara Carlson, Bob Shipman, Laura and Chuck Mendenhall, and Suzanne and David Wufford. And that silent auction will be here in this room on September the 19th. Flood relief fundraising, I think I put this out in a memo, or maybe I talked about it in my last chat. We raised $37,000 and gave that to the Spirit of Giving. Westminster's Resident Association donated $5,000, and then Westminster as a community had a $10,000 match, and you all exceeded that. Thank you very much for your support. So really proud of you for that. Thank you. And HEB Spirit of Giving says thank you very much. Let's see. Missing the iron of the Preston second floor laundry and the 4th floor. I think we should start interrogating people. Last seen quietly doing its job, smoothing wrinkles and bringing joy to laundry day. Description: sleek, silver, slightly warm-hearted, maybe hiding in a closet under a pile of clothes, or living its best life in someone's apartment. Reward: eternal gratitude, restored laundry harmony, and possible cookies. Hard, healthy ones, of course. If found, please return to the Preston 2nd floor, 3rd floor, 4th floor, wherever they're missing. No questions asked, we just want it back. It misses us. If you've seen suspiciously wrinkle-free clothing, you may have seen the iron. Let's bring it home. Speaking of bringing things home, yeah, look, there's what it looks like, folks. Well, speaking of bringing things home, Eco takeout containers are reusable to-go containers. Please stop throwing these away. Please stop giving them away. Please stop using these as Tupperware in your fridges. Return them. Return them to all of the spaces you can return them, which there are many. Also, if you can't make it to one of these spaces, bring it back to the dining room. Please. So the guy that helped us start this sustainability project wanted to write an article about how great we're doing, but I have to tell him we're not doing so great. We're not being good stewards with these, so please help us do better. And if you don't like that poster, here's another one, and this will be going out via the portal, okay? Everybody know what these containers are? They're green. They're beautiful, clear, green containers. Brings a tear to your eye to look at them with food filled. They miss us as well. Bring them back. Okay. Alamo Pet Spa. If anybody needs those services, they're on site every second Wednesday morning. 5-week look ahead. I'm just putting this in there. I'm not going to go through all of this. Most of the work's being demo. We're cutting up the Hidden Treasures closet, the global store. as it used to be. It's being cut up so that we can prepare for the construction of the cafe and all of that, so lots of demos still. I think I've showed you this phasing plan, and we've had to make some adjustments to the phasing plan. Can you see my little cursor, the arrow? No? Okay. Well, the city of Austin wants us to finish this rain garden at the same time we do all of this. So this is supposed to be finished towards the end of the project because there's a big generator that goes in here, right? This rain garden was going to be finished at the same time, but they're having us move that up. And also, we had split which is split today, the lobby into 2 phases because that would made it easy for us. Because we could work on one part and then use the other part. But they want us to finish that as well before we get the Laurel dining room and the multi-purpose space. And I want all of that as quickly as possible. So, now we have new phases, which is it's not too hard. It's now that we're gonna do this as well as this. So this is the lobby that's currently shut off, the new cocktail lounge, Laurel dining room, multi-purpose spaces with Ruth's office and everything. All of this is gonna be phase 1. And this little rain garden, which is filtering roof water. Because it used to run on the street and it was just rowdy water running everywhere. And we want to make sure it's filtered. So that's what we're doing. This is still phase 3. This is still phase 3. That's the west courtyard. There will be some concrete work that occurs here more quickly, but we have to prepare for demo of this area. We're going to dig out about 10 feet to prepare for the new generator. So that'll be done sometime, probably starting in October. But just to give you a warning that that's phase 1. So all of it, which is some good news, is that we get all of the lobby, the Laurel dining room, the cocktail lounge, the multi-purpose, the activity space, the activity kitchen, and the rain garden, and I'm sure it's going to be beautiful, all at the same time. So we get out of that space, you get to enjoy it. We're also going to try and split the Preston courtyard into 2 sections. So like we did with the Windsor courtyard when we were building the Windsor expansion, we'll be able to use half of the Preston courtyard before the end of the project, which is also good news. So, just a little couple updates there. And I'll talk more through phases as we go along, but I don't want to give you all of the phases because it's hard for the construction team to keep up with. So, we did take the leadership team through the construction area. This is the Laurel dining room. You can see we're already starting to frame for the ceiling grid. A lot of sheetrock will be going into that space. Where the wood wall is, that gets expanded out. So that's the edge of the dining room, but not the edge of the building. We get a corridor beyond that. So no more pushing carts and walking through the dining room. You'll be walking around the outside of the dining room. More dining room pictures. There's some of the team. Yeah, it's real, folks. And there we're talking about what we discovered and didn't expect to find. So we have to figure out these plumbing things, if they can be abandoned, if they need to be relocated, most of which we know at this point. We just need to figure out the solution. We know what they are, Some are roof drains that we thought were in another location. And some were chilled water lines, so at one time when the Preston building stopped at the dining room, they had, the chiller was sitting in the courtyard, and it had a fence around it. That was a long time ago, back in 1976, so a lot's changed since then. So we're gonna abandon those pipes, but we have to dig footings and prepare for a concrete slab to be in that location to provide a base for the corridor. So it's pretty interesting. Just a reminder, not to fall during September 22nd through the 26th, because Robin's counting on better numbers. We're gonna have a fall prevention week. There's gonna be lots of fall-related activities, fall prevention-related activities. Presentations, exercises, games, workshops, screenings, free screenings, safety tips, and this is all being put on by Westminster Select Rehab, Halcyon, and the exercise instructors. There'll be fall prevention bingo. Yeah, I know, that sounds fascinating. So don't fall during that time, 22nd of September through the 26th. I'm not gonna go through this. Just a reminder again, in case you didn't get my message earlier, I put it in my presentation twice. I promised the food committee that I would mention it. Do not throw these beautiful green containers away. Bring them home. Bring them back to us. If you don't know what to do with the green containers, or you have a friend or neighbor that doesn't know what to do with the green containers, call us, and we will answer the questions. We'll wait till the end, Ms. Arnold. Maybe I'm at the end. Okay, I'm at the end. You ever put a presentation together and forget about what you put in the presentation? That happens to me once in a while. Yep, Maria, they're ready for questions. Okay. Hold it close to your mouth.
Two things. One, I noticed that the last pillow that fits in the chairs of the bistro disappeared in the last week. And the problem was,
The what?
the last
Oh,
pillow.
the pillows.
You know, the pillows in the bistro.
They were probably too attractive and they took them home.
Well, they were misshapen for the
We need some more pillows in the bistro.
chairs. Yeah, but not like the roundish ones. We need the flat ones, those are the ones.
Pillows for the bistro that are flat and square.
Yeah.
Well, the square was fall through the back of the seat.
Now there's a debate over the pillows, huh? All right, I'll just mention it to food and beverage.
Actually, there's a tendency to take chairs from the outside, benches and tables, which are more substantial, and use them because they won't fall through the back of the chair.
Okay.
That's one. Two, I was wondering if there's been any solution found or started on the west side of the building, because from about 4:30 to 8:30, there's burning, streaming sunlight coming in the west side windows.
So I know that what we did for the assisted living dining room is we ordered blackout shades that should be installed this month. And then for those residents that request them, we can get them blackout curtains. And that's what the solution's been for some of the folks in the Carlisle building. I think there's a real problem with sun in the evening in the assisted living dining room. So we're resolving that with the blackout shades.
If you have trouble getting your green bag, box back, your housekeeper will take it back for you, if it's just clean and dry.
Okay, Yeah, that's true. Housekeeper will
Yes.
take them back.
They will, so take advantage of that.
I will even come and take them back if you call me. That's how bad it's getting. Mrs. Arnold will as well. Any other questions?
A recycling reminder, milk cartons, those waxy milk cartons are not recyclable. I see them in the bins all the time. Those can easily be flattened to put in your trash.
No, they're trash.
Yeah.
They're trash,
Yeah, but you
right.
can flatten them so they take up less space.
Trash.
So, yeah, the wax milk cartons, right.
I noticed that painters are working on the baseboards on the fifth floor, Preston, on the B-wing.
Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna be painting the walls also?
If the walls are damaged and they need it, yes. So we're doing a touch-up paint project right now. So any place that really has been scuffed or damaged, then yes, they'll do touch-up painting. Mhm.
Okay. And also, can you,
Please stop scraping the walls, by the way. Try to stay in the center of the hall when you're walking.
can you tell me when the new ventilation system in the pool is gonna be
Permanent?
updated and made permanent?
So, I don't know the answer to that today. I can tell you that the mobile unit will stay in place at the contractor's expense until the parts come in for the permanent repair. And the contractor's responsible for that, and every time I don't know when the parts are coming in, I don't know the answer. So, yeah. We want it to come in though, we want those parts. Any other questions?
Thank you, Chuck.
All right, thank you all very much.